Grazie, Presidente.
Thank you, President, colleagues, President von der Leyen, President Michel. In the upcoming European Council, you will have to deal with major issues indeed. Now, on behalf of the ECR group, I want to reiterate our support for the people of Ukraine who are called upon to resist the Russian invasion amidst terrible daily suffering, atrocious. And while the independence achieved in a short time from Russian gas and oil is good news, we don't think it's good news to change that dependence, shift it over to China for the years to come. We don't want to repeat the errors of the past, nor can we hope at such a very, very delicate, sensitive time to run into an industrial war between Europe and the United States. But let's take a step back to the last European Council. Now, the Italian government requested the migration issue to be discussed. European leaders identified initiatives that go in the right direction, increasing external action of a concerted nature, promoting a cooperation on returns, on refoulement, strengthening external border control to counter human trafficking in the Mediterranean. But actually, because of Brussels red tape and Byzantinism, we've had to wait a long time. And in the same days that the Italian military has been rescuing thousands and thousands of migrants at sea, unfortunately, we've had the Cutro tragedy, and this won't be this is not the first, and it won't be the last of its kind. So there is a bitter issue here that people are paying handsomely. Deaths at sea will have to mourn for those together. Now, looking back, we cannot but see the failure of the European immigration policy. However you look at it, for my socialist colleagues, those of the left, recent events have been one more pretext to attack a government of the opposite political color. I'm not going to hold against you the many migrants who have died in Italy or in Spain or France during the years past, but I want to simply list the consequences of unrestrained migration in European cities, this particular ideology which has been called no borders. Colleagues, I simply observe that on these issues, your hypocrisy is only your inability to find some sort of way to resolve this particular issue. When can we finally share migration and understand that it must be governed and not suffered? That we cannot leave these traffickers, these boatmen, or these mercenary militias to determine who has the right to Europe and who does not have the right to enter Europe. Would have never thought the Italian government could solve everything in 4 months. But there are clear ideas. It is a very complex issue overall, and it requires a European response. It is a European problem, actually. That's why we'll look at the communication on integrated Europe border management launched yesterday by the Commission. Very, very carefully we'll look at it. We need the courage of the right choices. We don't need manipulation or political instrumentalization of blood. And this seems to have become quite typical these days. Thank you.
Il gruppo ID, Marco.
I now give the floor to Marco Zanni, President of the ID Group.